Welcome to this new series for Cities Skylines After Dark. This is a follow-on from the short series I did on the Cities Skylines map editor, where I created a custom map. Now the idea is to build a city on that custom map that I created. So if you want to look at the process of how the map was created, feel free to go and have a look at the series. Now before I actually get in to looking at the map, we're just going to look at the content menu. I'm just going to show you the mods that I will be using to start with. I will be adding extra mods as we go along. First one's the first person camera mod, because it allows me to show you guys some close-up views of the city as it's being built. We're going to have the one-way street arrows by Electrion, which is a very good mod, as it is when especially when the city starts to get a bit complex, where you can actually check the directions of your one-way streets. And then we've got this other one here called City Vitals, which produces a useful on-screen panel which allows you to check the vitals of the city as it's being built. So that's a very good thing to do. So what we're going to do now is start the new game, and what we're going to do is play on this map called Waterside, and we're going to call the city Waterside as well, partly so that I can keep track of what's going on. We're going to have left-handed traffic because I live in the UK, and I'll be totally honest, I do struggle building maps with right-hand traffic. I tend to get things the wrong way round, so I'm going to do this, and we're going to click here. Now while it's loading, I'm just going to talk about the objectives of this Let's Play. The reason I created the custom map is I want to build a city where I can create all the unique buildings that are available, and be given the range that's available on the European map. Just before I keep talking, just pause the game. There's more unique buildings in the European map option, that's why this is a European map as well. And the other objective is that we're going to try and get to a population of 250,000. Now that may mean that I may have to go for the full 25 tile unlock. So here we are, we're on the city, this custom city. You can see it's kind of got plenty of water and it's kind of built in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start off very much in the way that you can almost say it's a standard build. Now you can see to start with that there's nothing here, you can't actually open anything, so the first thing you've got to do is build your first road. I'm just going to build that. Use the bulldozer, which is your friend, and what we're going to do is start off with my favourite. I like to have a roundabout kind of in the entrance of the city, and this is the way I like to build roundabouts and curved objects to actually use these are dirt roads, they will get deleted. I'm just going to go like that, which is basically, it's a big roundabout, but I like to have it actually kind of gives a grand entrance to the city. And one of the key aspects when you build maps in City Skylines is you can go 1, 2, come in like that. Now when you build cities, traffic management is everything. If you want to build a successful city, you've got to have good traffic management. I'm going to go to the freeform tool. If you take this off, you can quite often get good entrance point here. Needless to say, once we unlock motorways, we'll tidy this up. So we've got a nice big roundabout here, and you can see you've got to keep an eye on the money, which is another big issue. What we're going to do here is back to there, turn the snapping back on. Just going to come, let's come 140 out, and let's come up here. And I'm not a great fan of grids, so the city will start being gridded purely and simply because of the financial restrictions. So just gonna have to upgrade that to one-way road. Let's go in the right way round. Yeah, I'm not a fan of grids, but I do like a certain amount of symmetry in my builds, which will come across quite well as we build this in. So we've got this here. What we're going to do now is come here, back to here. I'm going to come out one here, come up here, I'm going to come out one more. It's going to come up here, down here one, and as you can see these come four. So if you come out here and come across here, you can see the twitch of the hand there. You delete things, you get a certain amount of money back, so not the end of the world. You can see we just kind of come out like this, and we join this up here. And this little squares here represent the areas that you can zone. You've got 3 zones. You've got the residential, commercial, and industrial. You of course got the dezoning here, but to be honest, you don't really need it, because I'll give you an example. If you left click, you zone. If you right click, you and then like that. But you can see there. So left click zones it up, right click takes it away, and you've got the marquee tool. You've got a brush tool here. Again, same principle. Do that, and then right click, and it takes it away. My favourite tool, I must admit, is the marquee tool, and what we're going to do is zone in just zone in that whole area here, about half of it. And what we're going to do now is just unpause the tool, because now we can afford the sun to roll over. And what we're going to do now is put in some water, and what I'm going to do is kind of put this up about here. That's the water intake now. The sewage infall, you need a flow of water. Going to drop the sewage outfall down here, and we've got to connect the pipes up. You only need one set of pipes to do it, and I do have a bit of a thing about, oops, didn't mean to do that, about symmetry with my water pipes, so we're just going to do that, so you have to bear with me. Just going to kick there. I'm just going to come down here. I think we all have our little quirks and foibles, don't we? So we just built that in there. That's the water supply. You can see we're really burning through the money. Now you can put a coal-fired power station down, but that's expensive, and you can see we're already running a deficit of 560. So to be honest, when you're starting out, you want to get wind power, and darker areas here represent wind power. I'm afraid I haven't been overly generous with my map, so what we're going to do is look for somewhere 8's about the maximum you can get for wind power. And what we're going to do is join up that. Now I'm going to do something a little bit eccentric here, because I know I'm going to have my residential this way and my industrial this way, and so what I'm going to do is kind of come up this way, come across the top of the map, and just zone into there. Just going to unpause. The reason I've kind of gone round there, it's cost me money, but it's going to be useful in the long term, purely and simply because it means I won't have to keep adjusting the power grids as I go along now. So we've now got the city going. You can see there's a little bit of commercial growing now, so what we're going to do is come out here, get this tool in here. Actually, just go straight. I don't. Just come up here, out like that. Just draw off these little bits there. What we're going to do is the first bit of commercial in here. Now I'm not going to go up to this main road because I don't want traffic obstructing this main road. And as people move in, we can probably just jazz it up a little bit. And you can see the water, the people moving in. Now starting to get a little bit of demand for industry. So we're going to have to start thinking about this side of the map. What I'm going to do is just repeat what I did on this side to start with. So we're going to come up here. Just build this circular area here. It's going to. I hope you guys are going to enjoy following this map. You can see it's starting to get dark now, which is, can be a bit tricky. Punch this out. Actually, I'm just going to pause the game. You can build in the dark, but it can be a bit difficult. I think we can put a bit of power into there. Start with have a quick shift to water. Yeah, we've got a bit of a water problem here, so what we're going to do is going to put in the magic number for water is 440. If you come down here, there's two 440s, and wait for it to change to 480. Go back one, and then if you do that, see you get a perfect alignment there. I think we can just come out there. We can just drop a bit more residential in there. I mean, it's probably not going to grow, and probably a little bit more commercial there. I've got to watch them cache, and what we're going to do now is we're going to come back to here. I'm going to come in here. That's 200. Yeah, I think that would be good enough. I'm going to come down. Just come down a one-way road. I want 1.5 zones. Go up 1.5 zones. Use this tool here to reverse the direction. You just right-click on it. I'm just going to come out this way. Don't want to spend too much money. Same principle again. Here, and just reverse this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two-way roads. Go back to here. Now, I don't want to build any industry on here because I want the traffic to flow. As the area builds up, I will just explain it. So I'm going to drop that in there. We're just going to zone in, and again, I'm not going to zone to the outside. It may seem a waste of space. I'm just going to unpause now. I'm just going to bring this in this corner here, and of course we'll bring over the middle here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. You can see now we've got the line, so we can come this way. Maybe we can put another line of traffic in behind. And we'll just zone in more industry. And I think we're just going to let the city run. We'll just have a look round. You know, I mean the city's pretty good. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. See now we've got, looks very, very good in here. As I say, just demonstrate the first person camera. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm a bit out of touch here, guys, so just press the tab key and just so you can get in and have a look. And you just use the WSD keys to move around. You can These traffic coming in here are the new people coming in. That's one of the hazards of doing it, because the important thing to remember is that the traffic is here. So if I kind of click here, you can see this says going to Fawn Residence, Stephen Hancock. Fawn Residence works at drugstore. If you can click that there and kind of follow them in. So when you create new residential, your new residents have to arrive in the city. They don't appear like magic in the village, where they actually live. They actually have to drive and come into the city, or come in by train or boat or plane. So that's a point to remember, that if you've got lots of traffic congestion and then you build a massive new residential area, you're going to cause traffic congestion by actually building up the roads. We can take these out now. Save some a bit of cash, and you can see we've now got a little bit of residential growing. I think what we're going to do now is just put a little bit here, just to keep. I'm leaving the gaps to the road because the road will expand out that way. So it's got a small little city going. And you can see we're slowly getting into positive, and I think this is another key element, and especially if you're playing this type of game in the early stages, you just need to be a bit patient. Just don't keep ploughing on, trying to build things up too quickly. What you need to do is occasionally you just got to stop and just appreciate the city. Is probably the key watchword. And I'm going to just go up here, 440, 80, back a bit. Probably that's that would do. We're just going to zone in a little bit there. Got to keep an eye on the power. See, the power's dropping, so to come down here. This is, we just put this in, and now next thing we need to do is come here, drop the water down. That will save you some money, and if you increase this to 110, and if we come down to here, we'll see you get an extra megawatt from the wind turbines. Now what I was going to add is, this is the City Vitals mod. This displays the information which is actually displayed in this sidebar menu here, so you can come here and do it, but you can see obviously you've got to come in here, so it's very useful to have that panel there. And got a little bit of commercial growing up now, so I think we can just kind of zone in a bit more commercial here, and maybe we'll start laying out the road this way. And we'll just out that bit here. What's the power? Yep, I think you can see we've kind of used up a lot of our money, so we've got to be a bit careful now. Oh, we've just been saved, because this is our first milestone. So we're now a little hamlet. We've got garbage, healthcare, education, taxes and loans, elementary school, landfill and medical clinic. So, and what you get out of that is you get a little bit of a cash spend out. Now what you've got to do quite quickly, if you don't do this almost straight away, you find that you will run into health problems, is you need to get garbage collection in. And you now see the reason for this roundabout here, because that puts the garbage collection well connected into these roads here. The other feature when you get a milestone is that this actually drops down, so you've got to re-accelerate time. We've now got the city growing, we've got cash growing, got a bit of residential demand again. This is where we're going to now start to embark on a little bit of city planning, in the sense that I'm going to come out 15 come this way, and what we're going to do is put a little road up the centre there. It will serve a purpose, and what we're going to do is put in some more residential here just to keep it growing. Again, don't go over the top. Got plenty of water there, so you just need to let things pace up a bit. What we're actually going to do is come out this way, connect that up. It pays to have junctions well spaced out, and what we're going to do now is put our first kind of service building in. And what I'm actually going to do is put this here. Now, when you put service buildings in, the green roads represents access, but it doesn't work like SimCity and other ones where there's a zone of control. If the traffic flow's good, they will cover a much wider area. The green just represents, you can see the happy faces. Green represents the, how can you say, the flow of the immediate influence, which will actually increase the land property, is probably the best way to describe it. But at the same time, these have vehicles in them. So you can see here it says ambulances in use, none, but when people get sick, the ambulances have to go out and collect them. Either that or people walk, and these will cover quite large areas and give quite a beneficial effect over a large area. It just kind of takes a little while to think, so I think what we'll do now is expand our city this way. Just push the water out this way, which means we can get a bit more residential going. And again, the key point is come out again here, and we'll put this here. We're covering the water. Yep. Oops, nope. No, maybe we need to lodge in a little bit more water that side. Actually, we can do it both sides. I think we can afford it. Got a power shortage again, so I think we're gonna have to. And we've got no money, so just gonna have to watch this. And let it build up a bit. Gonna need. Actually, what I can do, come here. The first thing we can do is increase our taxes. This will get to 12%. I prefer 11 in this early start of the game. Once people are a lot more happier, and you can see now we should be able to build another power station. So, and now we're a worthy village. We can now got districts, policies, second loan, district specialisation, services and policies. We can have a fire department, a police department, and we've now unlocked the first unique buildings. We've got industry specialisation, and see here we've got firehouse and police station. So we've now kind of there. The maps, the game slowed down a bit again. So now again we've got a bit of cash to spend. And what you need to do is kind of get in here, and I'm just going to pause the game because we're going to knock that power station down. Oh, we're okay. I'm just going to unpause. Yeah, again, you do need to get these utilities in fairly quickly because crime and other elements do have quite a large impact on the city now. And what we're going to do now is let's explain. Now we've got a bit of traffic coming in here, so we're just going to explain why. Now, if you watch the trucks come in, that's the garbage truck. But see the truck there? It blocks the road, and this has to stop and come round again. Come on here. Yep, you can see it just here. Coming round. And so if you've got factories along this road, you're going to have lots of trucks coming and stopping and pulling in. That's going to slow up your overall traffic. And what we can do now is start to zone in this area. We can zone in behind here. And maybe we'll just get a bit of more commercial going this side because we've got water. I'm leaving the gap here because if you click up here, just click on this, you'll see there's noise, and noise affects the health of your citizens. So we've got a growing demand for residential again. Water's dropped a bit, so we just need to come increase the budget. That will get the water supplies flowing. Come up here. Again, just going to drop a road in roughly midway. Just going to fill in this area here. What's the water supply? Oh, we've got plenty of water. Get some more residential this side. And about the end yet. So we can kind of build up to the edge of the map here. So we've got a water shortage there, so we come in this way. I think probably power wise now don't need these. Gotta be careful demolish. That means we can, if you demolish, you can see you need to zone in these areas. I think look at these maps, you get the kind of mauvey colour there shows, and I think it's time to drop in a police station. See the immediate effect on the population. These here, if you come down and click on this, you'll see not enough workers, which is one of the hazards of there. And I think what we can do now is start to get these roads in. We've now got a proper road filling this traffic in, and take off the just count this bit in the middle. Same on this side. Now got the core of our city running up, out of power again. Just going to drop that in. I think we're just going to go up to the next improvement, and then that's where I'm going to bring this part to an end. Hope you've enjoyed it. As you know, you can see the city's now coming together. It's got a life of its own. We've now got it building. The old garbage trucks are going there. You can check coverage here. You can see here landfill and capacity, happiness, and there we are. We've got to tiny town. So we've now got decoration, level buildings, pet ban, got a high school, and I normally wait because if you might have realised that in the early level we obtained an elementary school, but I always wait for the high school before I start education. Education is very much a long-term thing here, and what I'm actually going to do is drop, I think maybe, where can we put our elementary school? Again, you can see the green coverage, let's put it there, just on the corner, and you can see straight away that we're probably struggling a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do is come here and just increase the educational budget a little bit. Oops. That it? Nope. Doing it the wrong way round. Bugger. Yep, that was. You will see that. Come back to educational. It's up in here. Don't be tempted to go overboard with the educational budget, because it's very much a long-term project that does take time to grow and develop. Obviously, the maps game time slowed down a bit, so it's something that you do need to let it develop slowly over a period of time. And before I go, what I'm going to do is show you the reason for these areas here. What I'm going to do is just drop in park. You can see now we've kind of got some there, power problems again. And I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to come up here, demonstrate the line. We're going to take out a small line, and then what we're going to do is drop coal-fired power station in here. Again, I know some of you may be a bit green and environmentalists, and to be honest, I'm of the same sentiment in normal life. But we've got to remember that one of the kind of targets of this Let's Play is to build all the unique buildings. These are the unique buildings down here, and there are one or two of these that actually require, I can't remember offhand which one it is, but I have to build all the, I can't remember which one it is now, it's one of these anyway, where I have to build all the unique buildings. And one of the requirements of one of the unique buildings is that I have one of every service. So I'm going to have to build things like the coal power buildings, power station, oil and all that, nuclear. We've got a little bit of water problems right on the end. Oh, it's the water itself. So increase the budget again. Up like that. So, what do you think? City's growing. Still got demand for residential, so maybe we'll just, before I go, stop this part, just put the thing on. Yeah, we got the water, so just thrown in some more residential here, up to here, there. And we got some commercial demand as well, so gonna pop that in there. And I think what we'll do is bring this out there. Come this way. Just come back this way. Drop some commercial in there. I think maybe, well, we'll just leave that for the moment. Maybe put a little bit of commercial here. Just fill that in here. Just take this out. Oh no, let's put some here. Why not? No, I'm not going to leave it. And that is definitely where I'm going to leave it now, guys, on this part. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you get the feel and the idea for getting your city off the ground, building it up. You see, it's really, really nice to look around the city. Maybe next time I'll give a bit more of a tour of the city. You can see the city's coming to life, the police station's coming in and out. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if so, like and subscribe, and until the next time, enjoy your gaming.